It's time for City Corner. I'm Robin Boyce. Come on back. We've got some great information on what's going on with the Urban League coming up. And there's an awesome jazz museum right here in St. Louis. Welcome to City Corner. I'm Robin Boyce. This episode is going to be some great information here about what's going on here in the St. Louis area. And one of the great things that's coming up probably this June is something I've attended for a couple of years now. It's a salute to women in the city of St. Louis or in the Metropolitan area. And here to talk with us more is the Vice President of Communications for the Urban League, Miss Angelia Beals. How are you, Miss Angelia?
I'm doing great.
It's so good to see you.
You too.
Haven't seen each other in a while, lady. Everything.
know.
Look at you, girl. You all, hey. You're looking great, lady. Tell us about this really awesome award ceremony. I've attended a couple of times, and I've got a friend that's a booster of you guys. I mean, she boosts this thing, and she's always like, buy your tickets. And I've gone a couple of times, and it's so nice. And I get a chance to see some of my mentors and friends from the past there that I haven't seen in years. And it's kind of like you see these iconic ladies that were the people back in the day that advised you and did great things for you. Tell us more about this award ceremony.
Yes, well, we are once again very excited about the Salute to Women in Leadership Award Gala, which will take place on June the 9th at the Marriott St. Louis Hotel. I am particularly excited because my favorite gospel artist is going to be honored.
Wow, and that
is Miss Yolanda Adams.
Wow.
So she is going to be our Lifetime Achievement Awardee, in addition to Miss Frida Payne.
Frida Payne?
Yes,
She's going to be here in St. Louis?
She's going to be here in St. Louis at the gala.
Wow.
So we're excited to honor those two. In addition, we will have 14 other outstanding local women that we will be honoring as well.
That is awesome. Now, this is a guild within the Urban League that puts this on?
Yes. So it's a combination of the Urban League Guild, which is our volunteer organization,
Great
as well
as
yes, thank you, as well as donors to the Urban League movement. So they co-host along with the Urban League. So this will be the 14th annual gala. It was originally founded under Mr. Michael McMillan when he was license collector for the city of St. Louis.
Oh, so this is a fairly new event. I thought this was something that went way back.
It went back with him, and then when he became CEO of the Urban League, he brought it along.
No,
with
I'm
him.
meaning further back.
Oh, farther than that.
I'm thinking the Urban League. I remember back in the day, and I thought this was. I know the Guild probably has been a part of the Urban League since the early what?
Oh yeah, so the Guild has been a part of the Urban League since 1986.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, so this is a part of the organization that helps to put on, and this is a fundraising event for the Urban League, or?
It is a fundraiser for the Urban League. In addition, it's a great black tie dinner. I mean,
it's really nice.
We have giveaways for everyone who comes.
I love the way you all do this red carpet treatment.
Yes.
You really, I'm getting out of my car this last time, and cameras are all in my face. I'm like, are they serious? and I'm walking in, and it's really a green carpet, but you're walking down and they're snapping. The paparazzis are taking
We try
pictures.
to bring Hollywood to St. Louis.
It's an exciting thing, especially if you have never attended something that kind of posh and upscale. This one, you guys really do put it on really nicely.
Thank you. In addition, we're going to have entertainment by Howard Hewitt.
Oh my goodness. No way.
Yeah.
Shalimar's
going to be there.
This is good. He's a good guy. I met him while working in radio several years ago. Very humble man. He was at that point when he was in between, left Shalimar, and they had done the Soul Train thing, and then he was in the Shalimar, and he was on his own doing the gospel. So, gosh, that's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
Great.
We're very excited. I mean, I am personally excited
I know.
about this year's gala because I know it's going to be one of the best.
So what does it take to put something like this on? We go to these events events all the time.
Yes,
We support the Urban League and other organizations like the NAACP and other really big events that happen in some of these huge hotels. What does it take to really put something like this on? Because I attended the dinner this year for the Urban League that you do annually with the talking about the business and transferring of hands and things like that. And they gave out a couple of awards to some people that were honored here in the St. Louis area.
Yes.
But what does it take to put something like that on? Because I see you guys at it and on phones and talking in the wrist and everything, you know.
We are rolling. It takes a lot of manpower to put on the Salute to Leadership, to the Salute to Women in Leadership Gala. I mean, we have volunteers. We give away 900 free gift bags to all of our attendees.
They're really nice.
Yes, thank you. So,
I walk away with some nice stuff
so
every year. I mean, really serious. And people think I'm kidding.
Yes.
You all had a blouse, sweater, knit outfit in there one year, and all kinds of makeup, and it's just really, very, very nice. I mean, this is one of those affairs that's so quiet that it just needs a whole lot more promotion.
Yes, thank you. And we try to make everyone feel appreciated, in addition to our honorees who can receive up to 75 gifts.
I know. Now, when I walk into that lobby area, these fur bags, clutch bags, diamond necklaces, these are for the awardees.
Yes.
I mean, it's like these ladies are not only honored with an award, but they get these beautiful gifts. Now, what is in behind that? Because I've never seen anything like that.
Right. So, and that's
I thought it was an auction. Because I was ready to really.
So that's all the manpower that we use, because we literally have to go and ask local companies and vendors to donate those items. So all of the gifts that the women receive are donated items.
Really?
So, yeah.
So people give those items to the organization to award these ladies and kind of honor them, and they're just beautiful gifts. I mean, I wish I had pictures now just to show the audience, because people don't really understand. It's like you have worthy organizations like the Urban League have been around for many, many years to do the right things in the St. Louis community and make things right continuously, have always, especially under our dear friend before Mike Macmillan came along. He did such a wonderful, wonderful job and still supports the organization 100%. I'd like to know, we've got a big conference coming up this summer.
We do.
And this is the second one that I know of that I've participated in that the Urban League is having here. So the huge national conference is going to be in St. Louis.
Yes, it will be in St. Louis. I am dubbing this summer Urban League Summer.
This is great.
Because we have the gala in June. We have the National Urban League Conference coming in July. So that's July 26th through the 29th. And we are kicking off by opening the Ferguson building.
Wow.
Yes.
So that actually is happening then?
That is actually happening. So on July the 26th, we will have the official grand opening of the Ferguson Empowerment Center.
Before we go on with the conference, what's supposed to go on in that Ferguson building? What kinds of activities, what kind of help will be there in the community for the folks in the community?
So we have 4 community service partners that will be operating in the Ferguson building. So we have the Salvation Army, who is actually co-owning the building with the Urban League.
Oh.
So they have their Pathways to Progress program, where they help the entire family to get jobs and, become economically self-efficient. In addition, of course, the Urban League Save Our Sons program, which has been going on since 2015.
Right.
That will be the official headquarters of Save Our Sons, will be in the Ferguson building.
Excellent.
In addition, we have the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, which would actually have a youth program that will happen in that building, as well as the University of Missouri Extension.
You got 4 different collaborations that are going to be in there working with the community, for the community, with the community. That's really, really going to make a big, big difference. People cannot say that there isn't any help out there.
This is true.
There's been a lot of help out here for a long time, and Urban League has been one of those organizations that's always had its foot somewhere, whether it was with reference to daycare or heating up the homes or cooling up the homes, or going in and rebuilding or winterizing homes and putting furnaces in. I've seen and witnessed personally some of the things that Urban League's been able to do for people who were just totally in need and didn't know where they were going to get it from, but I would always send them there. I was like, oh God, they're gonna get on my nerves for sending all these people there, because they would use my name to, well, Robin Boyce said, and I'm like, oh God. Yeah. But you all would really help folks out.
Yes, we do, and many people don't realize the Urban League has over 30 programs.
Yes.
Yes, and we have 12 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area.
So you have, that means St. Louis County and St. Louis City, you all are set up doing stuff.
As well as East St. Louis, Illinois.
Oh, in Illinois as well?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not like a separate urban league over there. It is part of the Metropolitan Urban League. That's why it's the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis then. So, in some of your programs that you probably are running right now, 30 some odd, what are some of the ones that seem like this the most dire need that people ask for out there?
Well, there are so many.
I know.
The Utility Assistance Program is one of our largest. We serve over 20,000 people each year with utility assistance, helping with gas and light bills. We have a great partner in Gentry Trotter's organization, Heat Up and Cool Down St. Louis.
He's done an awesome job.
Yes. In addition, we have a government contract with LIHEAP that helps as well. So
that's right.
So that's dynamic. Of course, our Head Start program is like the largest program the Urban League has.
You take care of a lot of kids.
Yes. So we have over 600 children that we take care of in St. Louis City and St. Louis County. So Head Start is very huge with the Urban League as well. Wow.
Yeah. The Urban League is the kind of organization that not only cares for people and trying to put things together, but for many, many years, you had me a part of trying to help shape some changes with reference to what's going on in our community. Yes. And are we still working toward those things with reference to working with the police officers in St. Louis County and here in the city and in the surrounding areas?
Yes, we are. Yes. So we began with the Public Safety Committee that we founded a few years ago. And so now that work is primarily done through the Federation of Block Units.
Excellent.
Which is our
Tell us about the Federation.
So the Federation's been around a long time, since 1932, and it is a group of residents in the city and the county that get together to better the neighborhoods, to focus on public safety and community beautification and things of that sort. So the Federation is still going strong. They're partnering with the St. Louis Police, St. Louis County Police to help make neighborhoods safer.
When are we going to see a time, do you think, or could you see a change really happening in our future with reference to the work that the Urban League does and some of the other organizations? Are we going to see a healing process happen here in St. Louis?
I believe the healing process has already begun. I think we were really in crisis mode back in 2014 with the police violence and the things that took place there. But since then, I think a lot of the community is coming together and trying to make a difference. Even with us, I see the change with the Save Our Sons program, because we had employment for years as a part of the Urban League system, but most of our clients were female. So when we particularly made a concerted effort to have a program for young men, it has really taken off. We've had over 350 men find jobs.
That's made a total difference. I want to thank you, Ms. Angelia Beals, for coming on the program and talking with us about the Urban League, and the salute for our wonderful women here, not only in the St. Louis area, but nationally, who will be coming into St. Louis. So I hope people don't miss it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tell Michael I said hello.
Okay, sure will.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back. We've got an awesome man who's going to come in here and sit down and talk with me, and it's going to be about the Wolff Jazz Institute here in St. Louis.
You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Drop that baby.
Welcome back to the studio. This is City Corner. I'm Robin Boyce, and with me in the studio is a legend. I have to say, wow. What can I say? This man goes way, way back in the day when it comes to radio, and I mean black radio. This is a man who has done a lot to support people, bring people up, get them up in the morning, whether it was with music, when he was doing his DJ thing, and whether it was with information and getting the real information out to the people. I want everyone to just really, really receive the legend, Mr. Bernie Hayes. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Robin. You forgot to tell him you were once my producer.
Lord, I was his producer. I was his producer. Anyway, Bernie, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're looking so good.
Well, I'm trying.
You know, you're doing
Not
really
as good
good.
as
You most recently have been named the director of the Wolff Jazz Institute at Harris Stowe State University.
Yes.
Tell us about this wonderful position.
Well, I'll be curating, all the information that's there, but the Institute has been there since 1992,
Wow.
With the Rhoda Hayes, and then Ron Nichols came in and did it for many, many years.
Ron Nichols?
Yeah, sure. Ron was there for years, and then George Sams took over for a brief period of time.
George Sams, wow.
And then I took it over about a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And we're also coordinating that with the National Black Radio Hall of Fame, in the same facilities and so forth. Some of the pictures you're viewing now are from the Hall of Black Radio Hall of Fame, which is at the other end of the Institute.
Okay, so you got the Black Radio Hall of Fame that's in the same place. Okay, awesome, awesome.
Yeah. But the Wolff Jazz Institute is, Don Wolff and his wife Heidi Wolff gave over $1 million in memorabilia, in the record collection, records, tapes, audio visuals and things to the Institute. And
I think it's pretty fantastic.
It's like an endowment, more or less,
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is and actually it's housed in an area of Harris Stowe State University right now, but there's a building there at the corner of Hampton and Market.
Compton.
Is it
Compton?
Okay, Compton. I'm
Compton,
sorry,
yeah.
Compton and Market Street, where it's supposed to go.
Hopefully, things are in progress. Hopefully that'll come off, but we don't know exactly what time. There's no time limit right now on it.
Okay.
There's no target date for it.
Okay, because I know they had pinpointed that at one time, and of course Harris Stowe's been growing and doing all kinds of things by leaps and bounds. Yeah. Is this an institute where young people will get an opportunity to come study about old jazz artists? Or?
This is, it crosses genres. It's not just jazz. When Don presented the institute with his collection, there was also jazz and soul and R&B and classical and so forth. But there is a place where the students can come and learn not only on jazz but any other genres of music too, and listen. See, there are listening booths set up there.
Which are
and
really
it's all
nice.
about education. In fact, you talk to Dr. Warmack and the people at Harris Stowe, it's all about the youth. It's all about the students. It's all about teaching. Yeah.
That's awesome. You also wrote a book called The Death of Black Radio.
Yes.
And within the Institute, you have the Black Radio Hall of Fame.
Which you're a member of.
Yes, thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you so much. You never forget anybody, Bernie. Anybody you cross paths with in your career, you've always propped them up
Well, you
and
certainly
given folks a
deserve to be
call.
in the Black Radio Hall of Fame,
I appreciate you saying that. I had a lot of fun in radio, and I'll continue to have fun in radio as I continue to grow up. Yeah. But tell us about the book and why you put it together.
Well, Black radio has been treated like a stepchild of the industry. We made blues, we made gospel, we made rock and roll, R&B and soul and so forth. But yet and still, when you read the books, there's nothing about black radio, nothing about the black contributions, nothing about the black disc jockeys who encouraged the music, who played the music, and never got any recognition about that music. We were as you know, we were the communicators for the industry, we were the communicators for the African American community. And also, Don Wolff and Heidi Wolff listened to black radio. Most of your judges and anybody over 50 or 60 years old now, no matter what what the ethnic group they belong to, listen to black radio, listen
did.
to soul radio. And so this is just to remember, to let people know what we contributed, because it's totally being ignored or omitted.
The first black radio station or station in St. Louis that played black music, what was that?
It was KXLW. Wally Price II, who was the father of Wally Price,
The photographer? Wow.
was the first black disc jockey. You know, then there was Spider Burks. Then later on, then George Logan, Leo Cheers, and so many I can name.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the 1950s.
Really? 1950. Now,
Gabriel.
oh, wow.
Sure.
I hadn't heard that name in a long time. Please secure this whole question about this. For years, people said this, and then when I saw his story, it was mentioned. James Brown, did he own a station here?
Not here. No, he
Okay.
owns several stations around the country, mostly in Georgia. He owned one, I think, in Florida.
Okay.
And he owned
but
one
he
in
did own
Baltimore.
radio stations.
Oh, yeah, he owned 5 or 6 of them one time.
Really? And that was because he needed his music played or something like that?
No,
What
it was, he was a businessman. He just
Okay.
know what the power of radio, and it was a wonderful, profitable adventure for him. Venture, rather, for him. And he just bought some radio stations like Stevie Wonder. Stevie bought stations, too.
He did.
Yeah, not
He did.
because he had their music played, because James was played by everybody, but he did it as a business venture. Yeah.
Black radio, the book is called The Death of Black Radio.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, you were part of this. You were involved. It's nothing like the conglomerates. You know, when Colin Powell was a young kid, deregulated through the FCC, the conglomerates came and bought everything. You know, black people didn't have the money to buy radio stations and so forth. But the conglomerates did. You know, your Radio Ones, your Infinities.
Well, Kathy Hughes with Radio One was probably one of the last to be able to take advantage of some of the FCC rules and regs
Precisely.
to get a station,
and
right?
she was very lucky. She slipped in, like
Yes.
Motown slipped in.
Yes.
Yeah, but mostly owned by Westinghouse, and these big conglomerates own these radio stations, 2 or 3 radio stations in the city, the newspapers, the television, and so
I
forth.
remember it
The
was like at one
deregulation.
time you could only own one television station and one radio
newspaper,
station,
one
one
TV station,
newspaper,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden
Deregulation.
deregulation
Yeah, the
said, well, you
deregulation.
can own it all, you know.
And they did own it all.
Oh my
because
goodness.
they had the money to
Yeah, because you've got
provide. Sure.
entities in this town, just St. Louis, who own 6 and 7 stations
Certainly.
apiece.
Precisely.
And it's kind of like half of those signals I worked on.
Yeah.
And it's just a different kind of animal now.
And, you know, at the one time, black radio, we programmed our own stations. We played the music. There were personalities that came in and did their own things. But now there's conglomerate, and there's some program director, perhaps in Dallas or some in California or New York, who program the whole stations for it. So it's lost that local appeal.
Yes, now that's, I guess, the deal. We've got a
Yeah.
lot more syndication program in
Certainly,
play
yeah.
now where you don't use your local individuals on the air like
Precisely.
they used to in the mornings and afternoon drive and the evening drive. It's kind of, it's not touchable and it feels like I own it like we did back in the day.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's no local talent. There's no local concern. There's no local news, no local community news. It's just I mean, Tom Joyner tries to get into local, localizing it, but he's also in Dallas, Texas,
Sure.
you know, so he has no certain connection to this local media audience.
And what amazes me are the young people who still want to get into the business, that they're constantly always talking. Well, what advice would you give a young person who's now dealing with podcasting, Twitter, Facebook, all this new digital technology? What kind of advice would you give a young person who's about to go to college now, who wants to be a journalist or wants to play music? What would you tell them?
That's the best thing to do. Education is the key. Education is technology, and technology, as you know, is moving at a fast pace. I mean,
It's, oh my God. It's like everything that was created yesterday is like 6 years
all
old
late.
now.
It's a dinosaur now.
Yeah.
But education is the key. Harris Stowe State University, Wolff University, Fontbonne, WashU. These are the places where you get training, because you're in competition with people in Singapore, people in Japan, people in South America.
Yeah.
And they got to get that education, and the local institutions here who provide that education, but that is key to it.
They do a good job. You're at Webster right now, right?
I'm at Webster and Harris Stowe, yeah.
And at Harris Stowe.
Right.
So some of the questions, I guess a lot of your students are so surprised at some of the stories. I'm sure you've been able to tell them some stories about what has happened.
Often they don't believe them. You know, so. Yeah.
Oh God, what can we do in this community to bring that good information back that you gave when you were on the air, and along with Onion Horton and some of the other individuals in the community? Really, the community were like your co-host.
Yeah,
they would call you up with information about what was going on in what ward. I mean, we just missed that kind of information. That boots on the ground information. We don't have it anymore.
Right.
What can we do to bring that back?
I don't know. You know, everyone has power. People don't realize the power that they have. You know how we shut down radio stations at one time, Robin. We changed the formats. We changed the priorities of different signals and so forth. And they still have that power. If the people organize, the people join some organization and say, we want this, they will get this. It's as simple as that. They can make change.
It really is up to the people actually going in and sitting down with the powers that be at these stations.
Yes,
and
I would invite them to come by the Jazz Institute at Wolff Jazz Institute at Harris Stowe State University and the Black Radio Hall of Fame to see the history, to know what once was, what can be again if they want it.
Now you're open down there during the week. Give us the days.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm there, but the Institute is open every day, 10 to 5, and on Fridays even later if necessary. But if you want to book tours, you may call 340-5773.
Hey.
But it's open. Come browse, and you'll be surprised at the amount of information, the amount of memorabilia, the amount of visuals.
It's beautiful. It's a great field trip place for
Certainly.
a classroom then.
Oh, certainly. It is a classroom. It's a world classroom.
It is absolutely fabulous. Yes. The information in there and all of those LPs.
The LPs,
I
the
mean,
photographs,
wow.
and the history of them.
Yes.
It's all been digitalized and archived. It's all there.
You've got a radio booth set up in there too, where you're going to go on the air digitally there.
Hopefully, and then that's at the making right now. Plus, there's some concerts and promotions coming for the Emerson Theater and also the Henry Gibbons Auditorium.
Awesome
so
to be a part of fundraising for the Institute and making sure that it happens for that. It's just so awesome. You also have here before us your wife, Miss UV Hayes, does an excellent job in singing, and she's going to be down at the Blues Museum.
Well, she's had
been doing some stuff
recently, but she's on her way back to the Blues Museum in 4 or 5 weeks. But she's appeared there several times.
Great, and then Swing Set, real quick.
That's a movie that I was featured in.
Really?
And there's another one coming out next month.
Bernie, we could talk forever. Oh my God, thank you so much for coming.
Robin,
I really appreciate having you on TV show with me. Wow,
always
this is great.
Good to see you. Always good to be with you.
It's good. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in to City Corner. We will see you really soon. Stick with us. We got a whole lot more coming your way here on City Corner. Bye-bye.